everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie. Today I am here with my weekly WIP and Chat. Now, if you're new, first off, welcome. I hope you enjoy my video today and consider subscribing if you do. I'd love to have you here. And if you're back, I'm so glad that you're back and I hope you're doing very well too. WIP stands for work in progress, and chat just means that I'm going to be talking your ear off for the next hour or so while I work on my current WIP, which is a diamond painting. It's virtually always going to be a diamond painting, but feel free to pull out a project to work alongside me if you would like. I know some people will treat these like podcasts and just put it on in the background while you're getting stuff done around the house or out and about. Whatever works for you. I just, as always, am looking forward to spending some time with you today. As far as what I am working on and with, everything will be linked below, at least the shops will. Some of these things are, out of stock or something like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and take a look. So I'm working on Clara and the Nutcracker from Diamond Art Club. I just reached the halfway point of this kit, so I split it into 6 columns. And I completed the first 2 over here and finished like right about here. And then I just finished this column over on this side. I'm about to yawn because it's been that kind of week and that kind of day. And then I'm going to do this column next. We're getting into the rest of the Christmas tree. And then the last 2 columns will be the ones that actually have our main characters going on here. So this is by Miss Holly. I think this one is out of stock at the moment, but you can sign up for a back in stock notification if you like. I will have that linked below. I had a lot of fun going ahead and pulling out my seasonal diamond painting accessories. I've been kind of in the Christmas mood since before Thanksgiving, which is unusual for me. Usually it's like Thanksgiving. It has to be at least Thanksgiving. And then I'm okay with Christmas stuff. But this year I was feeling it like the week beforehand. So I have this pen, which I think I got in 2020 from BFF Diamond Painting Pens. The clear resin in most of my pens that I got around then has yellowed slightly, but you don't notice it so much in this pen because it's like swirled with the red and it's got the snowflakes and stuff. It's not just the BFF pens this has happened to. It's basically like any of the pens that I've gotten that have that clear resin. It seems to yellow over time most of the time. I'm going to be using WIP in green clover and aloe. It's not a seasonal scent, really, but the tin is green, so that's why I grabbed this one. WIP is putting a pause on doing any releases for the moment. I think for the next month or 2. But they're selling any stock that they still have until it sells out, so you could still check them out. And then I have this tray, which is from Unimade. It's the Christmas tray they released a couple years back. It came with this really cute lid that has a sleigh on it. But I don't tend to really use the lids when I'm diamond painting. I need a nice big tray, and I need a nice big tray for all the multi-placing, the glorious multi-placing that has been in this kit. And then, so I'm going to be using the WIP in my single placer. And then I can't remember if I actually have opened this up to use it yet, but this is my wintry signature scent and cover minder with Pure Bliss Wax Company. So this cover minder is this cute little sleeping dragon, which is kind of the motif I keep going with my signature scents with them, but it's just so cute, and sleeping on some winter berries. So we have that for the cover minder, and then I really do like their putty best in colder temperatures, like when it's cooler outside, which it finally is here. And so I have excuse me, you guys, I'm sorry. I have not used this one yet, so we're gonna use this one. It smells so good. It smells like the winterberry scent that Bath & Body Works sometimes has seasonally. I don't think they have it this year, but it's got just some different like sugared berries kinds of scents. It's, sweet, like most of my scents with them seem to be. So let me go ahead and load up my pen and we'll go ahead and get started on this one. So I don't know what putty was in here. I always use this as a chance to clean out a putty from my multi-placer, whatever putty looks like it's most in the need of being swapped out. Now let's see. I feel bad to just like destroy this beautiful putty, but that's like the best way to like get this 12 placer filled is just to go right across the middle. So I'm sorry. That's what I'm gonna do. I feel so bad. I have to do this on a firm surface. Oh, it still feels a tiny bit soft. Let's see. I know, I just completely destroyed this one. Ugh, so sad. So sad. But it smells so good. Okay, look, you can kind of pretend like it's fine. um, the pretty colors too. I really enjoy how their scents are not too overpowering. It tends to be pretty subtle, and I really like that a lot. So I'll have this bundle linked below if you're interested. You can get just the putty or just the cover minder or the bundle. And yeah, it was really fun to do this cute little like partnership with them. So I was really flattered when they asked. But let me open up this section. Oh, I still need to put wax in my pen. And I went with kind of mammoth size sections on this kit, you guys, because so when it comes to sectioning off my paintings, I do like to use washi tape. I ignore the perforated sections that Diamond Art Club does because I want to make my own size. And this is like at least double the size of the perforated section, like both directions. I mean, not quite, but they're big sections because I knew this kit had a lot of color blocking, and I was a little bit nervous that I would start to feel, I don't know, a little burned out on some of these, particularly the Christmas tree areas, because plants and I historically just do not get along. So I thought, you know what? Let's just do really, really big sections for the first couple of for like the first column. And if I don't like it, I can just change it. I can add more rows or heck, add more columns. It's just not a big deal. But I really, really like this larger size. There's something about it that makes it feel like it's weirdly going faster. So I'm really interested to hear from you guys. What's your, well, for one, I suppose, what's your method for sectioning off your canvas? Do you like to use release paper? Do you like to use, actually, I want to leave this open for good smells too. Do you like to use release paper? Do you use the perforations? Do you use washi tape like this? Just what is your approach? Okay, look. I know I haven't been sleeping enough, but sometimes it's just like I get on camera, I just get really sleepy. I don't know if this is going to be enough or if I'm going to need to go over and grab my bags of extras. We'll see. We'll see, because if you were with me last week in my WIP and Chat when I was kitting up this project, you would have seen that I was not able to fit all of the diamonds of every single color. I couldn't fit all of them into these containers. So like there were, I don't know, 4 or 5 bags of DMC 336, and I was like able to fit like 2 of them in there because I wanted to get all of them in the tray. I really didn't want to be having to use multiple trays if I could help it. So what my compromise was to just only put some of the bags in, as many as could fit, and use smaller containers. And that's worked fine. But that just means I have this like big Ziploc bag of the extra bags that I'm refilling from as we go. So we'll see if this is enough or if I need to go run off camera and grab that. But anyway, hi. How are you doing today, friends? I hope that you had a really wonderful holiday weekend if you were celebrating. I know not all of you guys are in the States like I am, but either way, whether or not you're in the States, I hope that you had a really nice weekend. And if there were any Black Friday sales that you were hoping to take advantage of, I hope you were able to snag some good deals and support some small shops, and maybe get some Christmas shopping done. I kind of feel like I dropped the ball a little bit. This always seems to happen because this is a very, very busy season for me. And when it comes down to it, I tend to just not be super on it with getting together Christmas lists and stuff, just because it's like, well, there's all this other stuff that is actually extremely time sensitive. And if it doesn't get done, it's going to be a huge problem. And so I guess the Christmas lists will just wait. So that's what happened again this year, but that is okay. We had a good Thanksgiving, and fun Black Friday related activities if you were in the live stream on Thursday, late Thursday night, early Friday morning. I would call it a success of a week. My kids were off school all last week. So just in general, it was a very different than usual kind of week for me, which has its good and bad sides for that. But I like to think it was mostly good. For one, I did get to do a decent amount of diamond painting, and this kit has been nothing but enjoyable, which is a sharp contrast to my most recent project, which as I've continued to sit on it for the past week-ish since finishing it, my feelings have not changed. I did not enjoy that project, unfortunately, and it may go down as one of my least favorite diamond paintings I've ever completed, which makes me very, very sad because I really do love the original artwork so much and I had such high hopes for it. But the reality is I didn't enjoy the process of working on it and I didn't really love how it came together. So I think I'll be ready to do a dedicated post review on it soon. I wanted to sit on it and I knew this would be a very busy week anyway, so I wasn't in a big rush to get to that. The kit that I'm referring to, by the way, is called Garden. It is from Carrot Art, and you got to see me working on it in my WIP and Chat a couple of weeks ago, and then last week I was kitting up this project and kind of debriefing some initial feelings on that kit. And I appreciate all of your feedback and your thoughts when I was kind of sharing, like, I don't want to be overly negative. I'm trying to figure out if and how to potentially send to this shop some of my thoughts. And I don't know. I kind of tabled making that decision for the time being, just because, like I said, it feels like a very busy season, and I thought I'll get to it, but I got other time sensitive stuff I got to take care of. But yeah, working on this kit has felt like a breath of fresh air. The colors are very, very rich, and in my opinion, surprisingly vibrant, even though they're dark. I was taking a little bit of a gamble by deciding to work on this kit because usually I think of a kit that has dark colors and a kit like this where there's actually, like, there's some things going on around the edges, but not a ton. There was a lot about this kit that I knew going into it were honestly kind of a gamble. I thought I could be setting myself up for failure with this one, because there's a couple of things on here that, depending on the context, I don't like working on in a kit. But I just had a hunch, and my hunch has been correct. I've really, really, really liked working on this kit a lot. And I'm not sitting here feeling like I'm just impatient to get to the middle where the good stuff is, where, like, the main characters, like the subjects are. It's fine. Like, it feels very zen. It feels very peaceful to me. The closest that I've come to feeling like, is there were a couple of sections of the Christmas tree up there that when I was working on, I was like, okay, this is not as fun. This feels more tedious. I don't know what it is. Like, there's something about how plants and trees tend to be rendered that, like, the process of doing them is just not as fun. I don't know what it is. Like, the little like 2 and 3 diamonds at a time, maybe, that, like, does the color gradients. I don't know. But that's the only part of this kit so far that I've been like, I'm glad this isn't the whole kit. But even, like, right now, if you happen to be watching, this is this kind of pattern that's on the wall, which when I looked at the original artwork, I did not know that this wall was not a solid color. I remember getting this kit in and looking at it and going, maybe I saw it in the digital render and just was like, I don't really recall seeing the original and going, oh yeah, there's like a whole little, like, lattice looking pattern on the back wall, and there totally is. But again, there's something that feels very zen about working on this for some reason. I don't know what it is, but I'm just glad I'm so happy working on it. So 1 week into this project, and I don't think I put any drills down after I finished kitting it up last Sunday night. So like a little bit less than a week of actually placing diamonds on this kit, and we're over the halfway point. Oh, crud. Oh, that could have been so much worse. Diamonds went flying, but like it could have been more. Hold on, there's some on my chair. There's some on the floor, but I vacuumed yesterday, and so I'll salvage those later. Anyone else? Just a huge klutz. I hope that wasn't stupidly loud in your ears. Okay, there's like 3 diamonds on the floor. I'm so sorry if that was really loud. I don't know. The pen leapt out of my hands. We're all good. We're all good. Okay. Let's get back to it. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. You guys heard me say that a million times on the Black Friday live. I might have given you some of you PTSD from that. Not to make light of that, but so there were a couple people that commented in that live stream. They're like, every time Katie says it's fine, it's gonna be fine, my blood pressure goes up even more. I was trying to manifest the like, we're all good, everything's fine, we're all gonna be fine. Anyway, I don't remember what I was saying. Something about this kit, how much I'm enjoying it, how zen this is, until I dropped my pen in the tray. So, I think that I'll probably finish this hopefully in the next week-ish. And then what I'll work on next is anyone's guess. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but goodness knows I have plenty of wintry kits in my stash to choose from. I got like a little something there. Okay, just want to dry it. So, I don't know, what about you guys? Are you working on any wintry or seasonal kits at the moment? I am going to try not to like start anything. I say this now, watch this completely change at some point, but I don't think I'm going to try to work on anything else that's really big like this one. I don't think, because I basically have like 3 weeks. By the time I finish this one, it'll be maybe 2 weeks until we fly to Ohio. And so I don't want to start a project that I don't think I can finish. And I know that we're going to have stuff to do before we actually fly back. So I'm going to try to plan accordingly, like plan to work on smaller kits that are not overwhelming or anything like that. I think that's the way that I want to go. So, anyway, what else? This kit's going well. I don't know what I'm going to work on next. Thinking about year-end like wrap-up stuff because it's already December. For example, Christmas premieres are coming up, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say that, I would love to tell you more about it. So for several years now, I want to say this is maybe its 6th or 7th year so far, with various people coordinating over the years. For the past few years, it's been Crafts with Crashly has been coordinating it and handling the scheduling. But basically, a whole lot of diamond painting YouTubers are putting on these YouTube videos. They're premieres, which if you don't know what a premiere is, it's like a hybrid kind of video between a normal video like this one and a live stream. What happens is, imagine that you have a WIP and Chat like this from me that is scheduled to go up. Like, let's say it's scheduled to go up at 6 a.m. Pacific time, like my WIP and Chats are always scheduled to go up at. But at 6 a.m. when the video starts, just for that particular hour, it airs like a live stream does. It airs from start to finish in that hour, and there's a live chat that's available where if you want to, you can open the live chat and chat with other people that are in there. And basically, Crashly is putting together a schedule of these premieres where for every single hour from, I think, Christmas Eve through Boxing Day, aka the day after Christmas, and possibly extending, I think, a little bit beyond that. I don't remember off the top of my head. Every single hour, someone is going to be, I wouldn't say live, they're going to have their premiere going. So someone is going to have a chat going where there's people. And so if you want some company, if the holidays are difficult for you, you don't want to be alone, whether that's just having someone talking in the background or you actively participating in a live chat, there will be a video going. And there'll be a playlist that has all of the premiere videos in it so that you can easily follow along with, okay, who's currently got a premiere that's like airing live right now, and what's next, or kind of plan out your schedule and stuff. And the nice thing is that even after the premiere ends, then the video is just up like a normal video is. So it would just like a normal WIP and Chat basically, or normal whatever. They're an hour long about. So I'm still deciding on what I want my topic and theme to be. Typically, I just treat it a little bit like a regular WIP and Chat, but I try to have some interactive or on-theme questions of a sort. So I'm noodling on if that's the route I would like to go again this year. If you guys have something specific you might be interested in seeing for me instead, I'm completely open to suggestions, but I'm also not trying to sit here and outsource my work to you either. It's just I don't know, if you like giving suggestions, I'm always open to them, and I've gotten some really fantastic ideas from you guys in the past that I so appreciate. So just know that my ears are open. I'm open to ideas, that kind of thing. But either way, you'll have something for me. I don't remember if my time slot, I think it's the same as last year. I think it's on Christmas Day. So I will try to be present in my live chat as it's going up. But it will just a little bit depend on what we have going on family-wise. Because like I said, we'll be out of town. My parents are flying us back to Ohio for the holidays, which I've mentioned once or twice, but I'm really looking forward to being able to do that this year again. So, so Christmas premieres, those are going to be coming up soon, and hopefully it's something that you enjoy, and it's nice to have some company. And then let me see. I have some really fun things in the works that I may have some more news for you on very soon. I've been teasing it a little bit here and there in the past few weeks. Something I'm working on with a friend, and we are actually going to be chatting after I finish recording this video to hopefully get some concrete stuff taken care of. And I think very soon you will get to find out more about what we've got in the works. It's something new, something I haven't done before, but I'm hoping it's going to be something that everyone really enjoys, and really excited for the friend that I get to kind of brainstorm and do it with. So stay tuned for that. And then the Black Friday live stream, where here on my channel, my friend Lindsay came again this year to hang out, and we basically hung out with, I think my analytics said that at peak we had 1,600 people in the chat, which, holy cow, thank you guys if you were there and hanging out. Lindsay and I chatted for a couple hours leading up to Diamond Art Club's early release for their Diamond tier members of their Black Friday kits, of which there were 111. Holy cow. But we chatted, and then chatted for like the hour afterwards, as always, just kind of watching to see like what kits are going to sell out first. Did everyone get what they wanted? I was really shocked, honestly, at how many kits sold out. I kind of figured that, people would be doing less shopping this year, but that just didn't appear to be the case. I think maybe people had been saving for a while, and it was a really good deal. But even still, I was like, dang, some of these kits are selling out fast. Now, to be fair, there were some really, really incredible pieces releasing. And I'm excited for the artists and stuff who had pieces that were really popular. And I hope you guys were able to snag what you wanted. I felt really bad for the customers, and honestly for Diamond Art Club too, when there were so many people on the site that it crashed. It crashed at the early release and at the general release as well. And I know how frustrating that is. And so I really hope you guys were able to get the kits that you were hoping for. And if nothing else, hopefully they'll have a restock of, the big ones sooner rather than later. But the live was a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, I always have the best time with those. And I always kick around the idea of like, is there any way that I could somehow make it work to do live streams more often? And right now, I just don't feel like there is a way for me to, practically speaking, do that. A lot of it has to do with the space that I live in, like setting up to do a live. I have to, basically I set up a table. I have this whole setup with everything that I do just in the corner of our bedroom, because I don't have like a dedicated crafting area. And also because I have 2 small children, and when they're running around and, living their life and stuff, like that can be kind of noisy. And so it's like, I want them to be able to do their thing, reasonably speaking, and me to actually be able to focus and it not be distracting for you guys and stuff. And it's a bigger deal there's too many different things involved for me to be able to like do a live every week. I'd love to do something like a weekly live, but it's unfortunately it's not practical at this current stage of life, and maybe someday, but not right now. And that's okay. But I have so much fun in these countdown lives. And I'm like, I just want to do these more often because they're so much fun. So maybe, I don't know, maybe someday, but thank you guys if you were there and hanging out. There's nerves involved, but it's also just genuinely so much fun that, I look forward to it every single year. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I ended up doing a Cyber Monday video with my friend Kate this year, just because Diamond Art Club is doing something different for Cyber Monday this year. They have the mystery box that released, well, as of when I'm filming, around an hour ago, which they hinted at and kind of teased parts of that in the countdown live stream. And man, it's tough because they said what artists were going to be in, be in some of these like mystery like event things. It was a little, it was tricky to kind of figure out, like trying to decipher, okay, wait, what are they talking about? We know that at least the one was the mystery box saying. They gave us some artist names. And the thing is that Marigono Suli was one of those artists, and Yasu Art Studios was one of those artists, and Yasu Art Studios is one of those that there's like a few pieces that they've released that are just really powerful pieces to me personally. They really, really speak to me. Like Night Portal in particular is one of them. And there have been a couple of pieces from that artist in voting that were in voting around the same time as some of these Black Friday releases that for me would be like must-haves. Like I would actively try to hunt them down in a D-stash from the mystery boxes if they ended up being in the mystery boxes. So, and then Marigono Suli is an artist that I haven't had a pass on yet, any of the kits that Diamond Art Club has released from this artist. So I'm a little anxious to see what artwork there is. Now, there is some artwork from that artist that was in voting around the same time as these Black Friday kits, some of them anyway, that would be my first pass from this artist, that would not be must-haves for me. But others would be cry if I miss out on them, to be hyperbolic. So I have such mixed feelings about mystery boxes, and I know I'm not the only one. It's like there's things I love about them. I sometimes like the, ooh, what am I gonna get feeling? But when it's something that it's like I really, really, really love this particular art or something, then it's like, oh, then I just feel anxious, like my stomach's in knots. So I don't know. Like I said, love-hate relationship. But yeah, I think I'm not the only one that sometimes feels that way, but we shall see. So yeah, that's kind of been the weekend. I am really irked with myself because last week I managed to, I think, re-injure my shoulder. And I'm just so mad. And I feel really, really dumb. I feel really stupid because it was just it was really because of my laziness in a way. So what happened was I had to put a new smoke detector in Micah's room because the old one had died. Because I'm curious to hear where you guys live. Have they, or I guess it doesn't matter where you live, but have, for you, I'm wording this so weird. How can I make this? Let me start over. Smoke detectors. I swear that the way smoke detectors used to be was that you changed out the batteries in them. Usually the batteries will last a couple of years. You check them every, daylight savings time or time change to make sure that it was still working or whatever. And then typically once the batteries would start to die, they'd obnoxiously beep, usually at like 3:00 in the morning, right? The worst time possible. Well, our smoke detectors, at least the previous owners of our place, had installed smoke detectors that have like a 10-year battery in them. And the idea is that you never actively change the battery in them. The battery is just supposed to last around 10 years. And then it beeps when that battery is dying, and you just toss the whole unit and replace the whole unit. So it's that way with all the smoke detectors in our home, with the exception of the one that's in the garage. But then I was doing some research being like, you aren't really supposed to like bother with putting, like, on the instructions for the smoke detector that I was installing in Micah's room, it was like, do not install this in a garage because the fumes from when you start your car can like set them off. Now, ours never have. And so I don't know if there's a special like garage smoke detector that is in our garage, but that one has just like a replaceable battery. So I don't know, you guys. I need to maybe do some more research. But anyway, point being, I had gotten a new smoke detector for Micah's room right away. Thankfully, it died. Like, as I was doing Micah's bedtime is when it started beeping and that it was like dying. And I was like, what are the chances? That's never how it goes. I feel like the rule of smoke detectors is that they die in the middle of the night and wake you up and drive you crazy trying to figure out which is the one that's dying, and it's only beeping every 30 seconds to a minute. And so you're just waiting and trying to pinpoint it each time it goes off. I know I'm not the only one that's gone through this. Don't tell me that I am. So I had, taken it down and everything, and then immediately, went out and got a new one the next day and went to go install the new one and was like, okay, well, this is same brand and everything, but it looks like it takes a different mounting bracket. Because the way these work is you install like this little mounting bracket into the ceiling, and then you kind of twist and install the actual detector into the mounting bracket. So I was like, shoot, it almost fits the old one, but not quite. It uses the same hardware and everything. And so I can use the same like anchor point that was there before. Like, that's still there. It's one of the ones you can, reuse, put the screw back in or whatever. Then I thought, you know what? I just don't really want to go and get the power tools to screw in the hole, to drill the hole for the new anchor point and whatever. I bet that I can just, if I get this threaded screw going, I bet I can just hand screw it with a hand screwdriver into the ceiling. You see where this is going? This was the worst plan ever because it ended up being way harder than I had expected. But I was determined. I was like, this surely isn't, like, it can't be that bad. Let me just keep going. And then I really just did not want to get down off the ladder, walk all the way down the stairs, walk all the way out to the garage, get the drill, get the power tools, make sure that it was actually charged, potentially have to charge it, do the whole thing. I was like, no, I just want to get this done. I just want to get it taken care of. Well, the specific, I should have known, like I felt it like not feeling good on my shoulder at the time, but I just was like, no, it's like, I'm almost there. Like, I want to just get this done. And so I'm pushing, I'm up and I'm twisting. These are like the exact wrong kinds of movements. Like, these are things that were causing me pain the most when I was like fresh off of injuring my shoulder in the early summer. And now I'm having shoulder pain. I can't lay on that side again. And I'm having to be careful about how much diamond painting I'm doing. It's really aggravated whenever I try to cross stitch. So I'm doing much less of that as well. And it's been this way for several days now because I changed out that smoke detector during Thanksgiving break, I think on Wednesday. So it's been 5 or 6 days now, and the pain is it's just as bad. So I have all of my exercises from physical therapy that I can still do at home. So I'm going to start doing those. I'm trying to like ice it sometimes and just, ease back on some of the stuff that I'm doing as far as crafting goes, and just feeling really, really, really dumb that I just, it's like, no, I just want to do it. I don't want to have to go get the power drill. I should have just gone and gotten the drill and just done it that way and not injured myself. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like it was laziness and just like, if like was trying to be hyper efficient, and that always backfires. So anyway, that was stupid decision number 1 that happened last week. Stupid decision number 2 was, long story short, I cooked the freaking turkey upside down. We host Thanksgiving, and I'm not a chef. This is my second time I've ever made a turkey, and I went with the Butterball freezer to oven turkey that we did last year that turned out wonderfully. This year turned out fine. I think last year overall Thanksgiving just went off so much more without a hitch than this year for a multitude of reasons. It's fine, but I just kind of the icing on the cake for me was me realizing when I took the turkey out of the oven that, and I went to cut into it, and I was like, where's the white meat? Where's the turkey breast? What's happening right now? Did I overcook this to the point that the meat just evaporated? Like, what is, I wish you could have seen my face. I was just like, now, no one was looking at me. No one noticed that this was happening because there was really just pure chaos with everyone else. They were completely oblivious, which was great because I didn't want eyes on me for this. And the way that it took me a full couple of minutes to realize what had happened, and I just felt so stupid. Did it really matter? No. I had temp checked it in multiple spots, including what I didn't realize when I was temp checking it was actually the turkey breast. So I had fully made sure that this turkey was fully cooked. In fact, it cooked significantly faster this year than it did last year. Same exact kind of turkey, the same Butterball freezer oven one. And this one was, I think, like a pound bigger than last year's turkey, and same temperature in the oven. And I started at the same time, and this turkey was done an hour earlier. Like the first time that I was going in and checking the temp, thinking that we still had an hour to go. No, it was done. Like it was done. And it was a little bit, in my opinion, it was a tiny bit dry. Last year's was just a little bit better. So, and then the problem with these direct like freezer to oven turkeys where you're not having to mess with any of the extra bits and parts, no giblets, no whatever they're called. It just is like, it looks like just a frozen ball, and you can kind of see where like the like wings and stuff are, but it was really hard to kind of orient what's going on. And it was also very early. I got up because we had a Thanksgiving lunch. I was getting up way earlier than I normally do to preheat the oven and put the turkey in. I was moving in kind of a daze. My anxiety was super high. All of these things still shouldn't mean that I didn't know which was right side up for this turkey. Keep in mind, I'm giving you the context of this is the second time I've ever made a turkey, and all these other things going on. I guess it makes sense, but I still just feel really, really, really dumb. And no one was the wiser except my mother-in-law, who I informed because I was like, I need to tell someone in this moment, but I'm not telling everybody. So she was over because she was helping with cooking. Like she was handling a number of the sides. Like we were tag teaming Thanksgiving together kind of situation. And she's delightful. I really love my mother-in-law a lot. And so she was over, and she'd come over to like get something out of the oven. I just leaned over and I was like, I cooked the turkey upside down. And I was poking fun at myself. I could tell she was trying to get a read on if like I was upset or like how I was feeling about it. And when I was just clearly just poking fun at my own self about it, she just kind of like laughed along with me, and then immediately was like, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's great. It's not a big deal. And was very, very sweet about it too, which was, I figured she would be, and I appreciated that a lot. But I just was like, I'm feeling so dumb lately. Like, my gosh. So it was fine. The biggest downside is that like the skin and everything of the turkey because the turkey breast was on the bottom, it wasn't as crispy, is all that it was. Because that was more like just by all the other like runoff juices and stuff. So anyway, we also had very little in the way of leftovers left this year. And I'm a little bit puzzled as to how that happened, because I'm used to having just like oodles of Thanksgiving leftovers, and we just didn't, which, I mean, I'm glad everyone ate like everything and it was good, but I was just surprised. My sweet potatoes turned out fine. I went with just a basic recipe. I think they turned out pretty well actually, but it's kind of one of those things that's like, oh, it's hard to mess up. But I would also think it's hard to mess up a freezer to oven turkey, and I managed to do that. So I just was feeling really like kind of a derp this past week in a number of ways, but I guess at least the Black Friday live, I managed to check out without any huge hiccups like some of my derpy moments in past years. So I'll take that. Speaking of derpy, that just reminded me of K-pop Demon Hunters. And did you guys watch their performance in the Macy's Day Parade? I didn't watch the whole Macy's Day Parade, but I did see some clips of their performance, and it just made my heart so happy. I love seeing them perform Golden live, even though it always like kind of twigs on my ear, like bugs me, just not bothers me actively, it's just distracting to me because I don't have perfect pitch, but I feel like in a lot of ways, especially music that I know very well, I really internalize and like feel like what I have like perfect pitch relative to like some specific songs. And so when it's sung in a different key, like whenever they do Golden live, they drop it like a few whole steps or something, maybe a few half steps. It's not a ton, but it's enough that I'm like, this doesn't, like, the timbre of these notes sounds different to me. I understand 100% why they do this, because this song, like the original recording, like she wrote that so that she is like one of the only people that can sing it because it's so outrageously high. But like performing that live and being able to nail some of those notes live every time has to be a lot, and probably also potentially damaging to your vocal cords. So I understand why they lower the key, but I always notice it 'cause I'm like, it sounds off, but they just change the key. That's all that it is. So I noticed that, but it was still really, really fun to see them perform live, and just, I love how much of a moment like they're having and like the movie is having still and everything. And I hope it wins some, like if it gets like serious Oscar buzz, that would be really delightful too. But yes, that was fun to watch that performance, and Micah was really excited to watch it over my shoulder too. So yeah, we didn't, like I said, we didn't watch the whole parade, but we watched little clips here and there of it. So after Thanksgiving, Connor went down to Adam's parents' house and did a sleepover with them. He had been asking for a while to do this. He's like, I want to do a sleepover at Grandma and Grandpa's house. And we had figured, well, because it's like an hour from our place to theirs with no traffic. We had thought, well, what if after Thanksgiving, he just rides down with them to their place and spends the night, and then we'll either, all come down the next day and spend some time together, or we'll just meet halfway. And we weren't sure how it would go, because this is one of the first times Connor's done like a sleepover. There have been a couple of times like where he's done a sleepover like at the hotel with my parents when they've both visited or something like that. But this was still like it was a little bit different. And he had a great time. They played lots of Uno. He got to hang out in his PJs, grandparent rules, with like snacks and other fun stuff, and got like all settled and situated in his bed, in the bed there. And I guess just slept perfectly soundly and happily. So that was really fun. It was really cute. I asked him afterward, okay, so what did you think? Would you want to do it again sometime? And he said, yeah, I had a lot of fun. And I think next time maybe I could go for 2 or 3 nights. And I was like, okay, well, definitely he had a good time then. I just said, we'll see. I don't know that necessarily want to, make grandma and grandpa have to keep up with all your Uno shenanigans for multiple nights. But I really don't think they would mind, but I just thought that was really cute of him. So he had a good time, and that was a fun little thing for him to do as part of his Thanksgiving break, because I think I mentioned my kids had all of Thanksgiving week off and like the Friday before, so they've had a nice chunky break from school. They go back tomorrow, which is today as when this video is going up. And Connor did comment to me earlier. He's like, I feel like this week actually went slow, which makes me happy because it makes me feel like I got to really enjoy my Thanksgiving break. And I said, I'm glad. I agree. I feel like we had a nice, relaxing Thanksgiving break together. So we didn't do like a ton. It was pretty low key. We went to the park a few times. We got family time in, and then we kind of capped things off by dog sitting. I'd forgotten that we had offered to dog sit for our friends here. We've dog sat for them before. Their dog's name is Watson. I remember mentioning when we dog sat for them, I think in the summer, and Scout, adjusting to that really well. We had Watson like for a week that time, but this time was just they were going to be gone for 2 nights, just a little getaway. And Rachel texts me on Friday morning, like, hey, can I come by and drop Watson off around noon? And I just like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot. It was completely fine. I just was like, oh my gosh, I forgot. And, as soon as Adam woke up, I was like, well, we can't all go down to your parents today to get Connor, because I don't think, like, we'd have to leave basically right after Rachel drops Watson off. And I don't know that that's the greatest idea when it's like the last time he stayed with us was it was a few months back. We don't know how Scout's going to handle it, because Scout's still a puppy, and a few months is a really long time for a puppy. We didn't know we've done puppy play dates, but having Watson over in our space and Scout's space with him for a much more extended period of time, like, that's a big adjustment. We didn't want Rachel to drop Watson off and then us to just immediately leave and go to Adam's parents for a few hours, So I was like, well, why don't one of us can stay here, and then the other one of us can just go and meet your parents halfway to pick up Connor. That's what we ended up doing. Now, Scout adjusted relatively quickly. He was he was showing some anxious signs for the first couple hours, but there was no aggression at all. It was just he was panting and like really kind of closely following Watson around. Watson was super, super chill about it. And he was like kept sniffing at Watson's ears and stuff, and just being really, really persistent about it. So we were trying to help Scout feel a little bit more calm and at ease. And they figured out kind of their rhythm. But really, as soon as I took Watson back to David and Rachel's today, as soon as I got home, I could tell that Scout was way more settled. And I mean, last time it took him a couple of days to really adjust. And they were fast friends and super comfortable with each other by, the end of the last visit. But since this one was just so much shorter, they didn't have as much time to really get used to each other. Again, no aggression or anything like really worrisome, just more of a they were a little anxious, and Watson never really settled enough to eat much, but everything really went pretty smoothly. Watson is such a cuddle bug. He's like a little lap dog. I don't know actually what the breed is, maybe like a Bichon. But he was very, very sweet. So, dog sitting adventures this week, but everything went smoothly, and he's back at home now. I dropped him off today. And then Micah's had kind of a tough couple of days where I don't know if it's just it's probably a couple of different things. So I think part of it is we're not in the structure of school. He's been out of school and on break for several days, and he really thrives on the structure that he gets from school. But he's just been very, very, very argumentative the past couple of days in particular. So I'm glad we're going back to school tomorrow, but just really wanting to argue about every little thing. it's been a little tiring. But I think also Micah's very, very sensitive to the moods of people around him. This was a thing back when he did a couple month stint at another school that we tried to move him to, that we kind of thought, we and the team had thought he was ready for and everything. But I think one of the key problems there was when he was having a hard time with the transition, the school there kind of started to view him, I feel like, as a problem child. And when he feels like you don't like him or you're bothered by him, or if you're just being impatient with him, he is very sensitive to that and will respond accordingly. Now, I'm not saying that he needs to be coddled, but there's a middle ground here, right? And so I think he was feeling from me these past few days, I've been feeling like my anxiety has been really high. I've been in a funk. I feel like the past couple of days, especially, I've been feeling kind of an emotional low and just very blue, very blah. And part of it's probably kind of a little bit of a crash from all of the hype and the buildup and everything related to Black Friday week and Thanksgiving, kind of all the buildup and anticipation to hosting Thanksgiving and stuff, and then just getting ready to go into the holidays and stuff. I've generally been feeling a little bit more like melancholic and nostalgic and stuff. And so I think all these things are kind of combining to, I just feel blue. I'll talk to my therapist about it this week, of course, but when my anxiety is really high, I should say I know that I'm struggling with my anxiety when I'm a lot less patient. Discovering that anxiety can sometimes manifest as anger or impatience was really kind of a bit of a revelation for me a couple of years ago. And I've come to recognize, like, when I'm feeling that, being able to call it out for what it is and trying to address it, trying to mitigate it, asking Adam for more help, and taking space to try to like regulate through it as I can and stuff like that. And so that's just, I think, a lot of what I've been feeling. And, you know, we've just been in this long season of just, you know, with Adam being out of work and everything, there's just been a lot that we've been dealing with. And it takes its toll over time. And I think it just comes and goes as far as when I'm having like a really hard time with it. And I think that's just what I'm feeling for a number of reasons right now. So I don't mean to be a big Debbie Downer or anything like that, but I'm just being totally transparent with you. Like, I just have not been doing great the past couple of days. And in general, just, I'm trying to focus on what I can control, trying to keep a healthy mindset, and handle things in a healthy way that's not like toxic positivity, which is not healthy, but also, I don't know, there's a line there somewhere where it's like you can still choose to try to focus on some of the good in a way that is healthy, like, while not putting your head in the sand and refusing to, you know, deal with when you've got stuff you need to be dealing with either. Like, I don't know. I have this feeling of like people, like we as humans really like to live in these neat categories, these like really easily defined like extremes. Like someone is good or they're bad, or you're either happy or you're sad, or this is this exact specific reason that this thing happened or that you feel this way, and here's this exact way to address it. You know, like simple, really clear-cut kinds of things. And I thrive in that kind of context of things where things are very cut and dry. People are really cut and dry. Feelings are really cut and dry. When the reality is, like 99% of the time, it is just not cut and dry. Two things can be true at once. Like you can make space to hold two conflicting feelings at the same time. People are not like inherently like all good or all bad. I'm not going to get any like deeper into this this could be a whole philosophical discussion, but like that's been kind of a theme I feel like of therapy, is like being okay with nuance and gray areas, and there not being easy answers to things sometimes. And I feel like that's something I sometimes do better at holding than others. But yeah, at the moment, just feeling that struggle. I'm dealing with some of those more kind of blue feelings, but you know, one day at a time, one step at a time, sometimes is all you can do. And sometimes it is a good thing to try to just focus on what you can control. Yeah. But anyway, sorry to get like both Debbie Downer and deep, but that's just what's been on my mind this week, I suppose. Now let me see what else is in my little notes here. What I've been reading and watching and listening to. I'm still in my reading rut. Still feeling like it's right there, that getting out of that reading rut. We'll see. Watching, well, I've been watching Stranger Things recaps in anticipation of this last season. Now, full disclosure, I didn't actually watch the first couple of seasons because they were too creepy for me, but I had heard so much about the most recent season, well, season 4, so up until the one that just dropped, and had actually listened in a little bit on Adam watching it. And at least at the time, compared to previously where I was like, Stranger Things is too creepy and it's not for me. But listening to Adam watch it, I was like, you know what, I'm intrigued. I'm interested. I'm listening. And so then I ended up watching, I don't think I watched all of season 3. I think I watched some recaps maybe, and then just watched season 4 by itself, which I know is sacrilegious for some people, because I think a lot of people think that season 1 and 2 were peak Stranger Things. But I think I might want to try to watch season 5, like, because it's the last season, and I think a lot of people will be chatting about it. It'd be fun to be a part of that conversation and stuff. Feels like the end of an era in some ways. So I've been rewatching, what's her name? The names of her videos are always like Chronically Online Girl Explains Stranger, and she's been doing Stranger Things lore season by season over the past few weeks. She's got over 1 million subscribers. I don't remember like what her name is though, like what the name of her channel is, but her video titles are always Chronically Online Girl Explains, blah, blah, blah. So I've been watching those and trying to get like caught up a little bit, and currently debating if Adam and I were talking about this yesterday, if we want to watch the first part of season 5 that has dropped, or do we want to wait until the rest of it drops and then watch it all at once? I don't know. So if you guys are watching it, what are you doing? Because you know that whatever it is, they're going to end it on a whole big cliffhanger, and I kind of almost want to just wait and watch it all at once when the whole thing is dropped. But I don't know. What are you guys doing with that? Or what's your approach in general when shows do this where they drop in increments like this? I don't know. And then listening to, I've been kind of pulling back up the original Wicked soundtrack in anticipation of seeing part 2 of Wicked. Now, I would say the original soundtrack because that's what always will be like truly Wicked to me, like with Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth, like original Broadway cast. But I am looking forward to seeing part 2 of the movie. I don't know if maybe Adam and I will just try to go see it like individually, solo, because as parents have had to do a lot lately, and I don't want to try to ask them to come and watch the kids just so we can see a movie together. So maybe we'll just go see it like by ourselves and then chat about it afterwards. But yeah, like I maybe want to try to go and see it. Oh no, my putty got in the glue. Now it's everywhere. His pie's a little bit soft. It's still a little bit soft. I might pop it in the freezer to really help kind of the formula set. But yeah, still easier to work with in the winter as opposed to summer and the colder months here. But yeah, it's my reading and watching and listening to stuff I've got going on. How about you guys? Now, as far as what I got coming out this week, I am not sure when they'll come in, but I do have some other Black Friday sneak peeks that are just running late. If you guys ordered from Diamond Art Club, you probably saw that a lot of them were pre-orders technically or have delayed ship dates. So I have several that they're still sending me as sneak peeks that just haven't arrived at the warehouse yet. So depending on when those come in, may have some of those to share with you, and other stuff will just kind of depend. I'm not sure if I'll have like a normal weekend sneak peek for you guys from them this week or not. TBD. And then stay tuned. Like I might have some more exciting news, like what I was hinting at earlier. Like we might have that for you guys here pretty soon. we're gonna see what we can do. And then depending on, what else I can fit in, I have still some kits that I would like to get to unboxing soon, from some other companies. I would like to do some post reviews from a couple of different companies as well that are kind of waiting. I'd like to do one on the Art Dot kit that I completed. Talk about the gapping with that one, and then also Garden from Carrot Art. So kind of a couple of doozies as far as kits go in some ways. So it's nice to now be going into a kit. Maybe that's one reason I'm enjoying this one so much, is because it's like, oh, everything about it is just that really solid, reliable quality as far as, the drills, the render, just the everything. There's not gapping, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's that. Now let's see if you made it all the way to the end of this video. There's not a whole lot that's been going on in here that makes me think of an emoji, because we've just been doing this like wall, this like background of, this is literally the second color that I've worked on this whole WIP and Chat. I've just been very zen with this one, but it's coming together. You can see some of the details. How about, this is the star at the top of the tree up here. How about a star? We're upside down here. So this is the star at the top of the tree. So if you wanted to put in a star emoji, or like a sparkle emoji, there's kind of both in the mix, depending on your keyboard. We have some sparkles and a star here. So how about something like that? Yeah, we'll go with that. So you guys, thanks for joining me for this week's WIP and Chat. I do really always enjoy getting to spend some time with you catching up. Feel free to let me know in the comments how you've been doing or what you were working on while we talked today. Like I said, I hope you had a really wonderful Thanksgiving if you were celebrating, and that you have lots that you're feeling grateful for in life right now. And if it's really hard to find things that are grateful for, like, that's okay too. I hope that, the days get easier, and that the holiday season ahead has just only wonderful, bright things in store for you. I'll be thinking of you and sending you all of the very best wishes and all of my love. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Subscribe if you want to see more diamond painting videos from me, including weekly WIP and Chats like this one. I also do unboxings and reviews from a variety of different companies here on my channel, along with other diamond painting related videos like the diamond painting premieres that'll be coming up around Christmas. So yeah, hope you guys are doing very, very well. Have a day and a week that's as wonderful as you are. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye, guys.